a lot happened last week. Last week seemed like a very action-packed week in Port Charles.
Yeah, certainly was.
So, all right, let's get things started with probably the main event story that was going on. Sonny Corinthos, who was being grilled by the NSA. Was it the NSA or the FBI? I think it was the NSA.
NSA, the National Security Association, I think that's
Administration, yeah.
yeah.
National Security Agency, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny because, Sonny has been questioned by police officers and agents all, many times over the past 30 years. And he was just as stone faced as possible until Diane comes in and lays the hammer down.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, honestly, guys, you think Sonny's really gonna say anything? Like, he and Jason were both very much like not gonna say anything without my lawyer present. Like, they've been through this a bunch of times. They know the drill. They know they can say something and it'll incriminate them. And
Exactly.
Diane showed up, shut him right up, and it was, it was good. It was good. So
It
I
really
mean,
was.
I applaud Sonny for keeping his cool and control in that situation. So he didn't even show a bit of fear at all. He was
No.
like, no, I got this.
For somebody who's not a gambler, he has a tremendous poker face. On the flip side, his fiancee Nina was off the wall, and she was in a panic. And you know what? She actually went up to Carly and said, "What are you going to do about it?"
I was like, girl, you better learn how to roll with the mob. Like, like, no time to like freak out. Like Carly is like, I'm surprised Carly actually like gave her any bit of advice, but Carly was really very gracious towards her and was like, this is probably how it's gonna go down. Like, keep your cool.
Yeah. And the funny part is when Nina made a comment saying, the last time, when Sonny was away and Sonny went missing, you stepped right into his shoes. And she's like, "Oh, you mean the time where you made his own family think he was dead?" I just about cracked up at work while I was watching it.
Oh, I love that line. I was like, yeah, Carly, singer. I loved it. I loved
She, it's just
so much.
Yeah, no, I did. I enjoyed that a lot, and I popped at that line. But to Carly's credit, she actually gave Nina some information and said, "Hey, Diane's on it. She's called me. She said, she's working on it, and to calm down, and his arraignment will be, the next day or what have you." So, I mean, she did kind of, take pity on Nina, which is not in Carly's nature.
No, it's not. So I was kind of surprised that Carly, took pity on her at all, honestly. But
I agree.
I guess she feels for her somewhat, being like a first time dealing with serious, boyfriend lobster possibly going to prison thing. So it's like a first time experience for Nina. Nina, know what you signed up for being with Sonny. You better learn quick.
Exactly. And that's that's the thing, because you know what, Ava kind of had the same advice, and you do realize that Sonny's a mobster. That's what you signed up for.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody understands it, and I don't want to say is okay with it, but gets it. But except for the one woman who claims that she's okay with it and is about to marry Sonny, and she's the one that's freaking out the most. Like, I honestly feel like Nina is still in love with Mike, and she doesn't realize that Sonny is a completely different person.
Either that, or she's just in denial of like
Well, yeah,
what Sonny does for a living and the implications of that lifestyle.
yeah, exactly. And I honestly feel like if Nina sat back and kind of took stock of everything, I don't foresee that engagement lasting lasting even to the wedding date.
No, we're still waiting for the other shoe to drop
Right.
with the whole SEC thing. And so I think the moment that gets out, which is probably when, you know, Ned comes back from his Eddie Main days, the truth will probably come out around that time.
And I think that's closer than we think. Because, well, I mean, think about it. It's Carly made a few different choice comments to Nina saying loyalty is everything to Sonny. So, and Nina's face almost dropped because, once Sonny finds out that she's the one that called the SEC on Carly and Drew, it's going to be over. Because regardless of whether or not Carly and Sonny are together, she's the
They're
mother.
together.
What?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but like, regardless of whether Sonny and Carly are together, I think I knew you were going with this. Is they're like he will do anything.
Exactly.
He still wants to help her out to this day, whether she accepts his help or not.
Right.
Like he still would do anything for her. And Sonny and Carly, and I've said this before, are the kind of couple that are together even when they're not together.
Right.
Because they're like ride or die for each other. Like they just do anything for each other.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I was gonna say it's just regardless of if they're together, Sonny always protects the mother of his children. And you see that with Alexis too. The fact that Alexis is Christina's mother. And then, Ava with Avery's mother, so it's like no matter whether or not they're in a relationship, Sonny, carries that loyalty, that family mentality, at all times. And Nina went against that code.
Sure did.
All right.
I can't wait for the blowout. I can't wait.
I can't wait either. I think it's gonna be great that once the truth of the SEC, tattletale comes out and they find out, it's gonna be fantastic. I want to see how Nina's gonna backpedal from that.
Yeah.
And even the fact of her even taking responsibility for it, with the exception, or instead of blaming Carly and saying, "Oh well, Carly never gets held accountable for anything. She did something wrong. I wanted to make sure she paid. I never intended for Drew to go to prison for it, or whatever the case is. They're gonna, depending on the writing, but Nina's gonna end up trying to victim explain herself out of it.
Oh yeah, she'll try to justify it anyway she can, for sure.
Yeah, no, exactly. All right. Anything else on the Sonny, Nina, Carly situation before we move on to the next topic?
Not on my end, no.